I'm Jim O'Kelley.
I'm Nathan Springberg.
I'm Abbey Knupp.
And this is
Monday Madness.
Woo, 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 woo.
Ba-da-bum.
You can tell it's Monday Madness, right? A lot of enthusiasm here today. We're bringing the energy. We're super excited. Arguably, Abby and I are more excited than Nathan because we're double bagged today. We've got our zippies on, our hoop shoot zippies. Underneath our hoop shoot zippies, we got our hoop shoot polos.
Hey, I was dressed for the occasion. This is a big deal here. We're at Wintrust Arena. We got 72 national finalists and their families coming in. Come on now.
You know, Nathan, he's got a little bit more sartorial splendor than the two of us, right? Listen, the reason we're excited, obviously, is it's the Hoop Shoot National Finals on Saturday, Wintrust Arena. 72 of the best young free throw shooters from around the country are going to be here with their families and friends and fans, vying for 6 national titles and a spot in the Elks Hoop Shoot display at the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yep.
Right?
And the possibility to even maybe get a trip out to the Basketball Hall of Fame if you're a Getty Powell winner and things like that. So there's a lot for grabs.
Right. The top 6, the 6 national champions will go back to Springfield, Massachusetts, where they will see their names in lights in the Elks Hoop Shoot display, and 2 of them will get a chance to go to the Hall's enshrinement ceremony.
Yep. Where past Getty Powell winners have gotten to get pictures and talk to the likes of Dwayne Wade or Breonna Stewart. Yeah, so a lot of legends there that you get to see. And I believe Carmelo Anthony is being inducted into this one. That was just announced as of a few days ago. So, yeah.
Now, all 72 national finalists are coming to the Wintrust Arena undefeated. And they're stepping up to a free throw line where a lot of greats have shot.
That's true. Wintrust Arena is the home of the Chicago Sky. A few years ago, led by Candace Parker. They won the championship of the W, right? The Paul Blue Demons plays there.
And some hoop shoot greats.
Also some hoop shoot greats, yeah.
We got a lot of hoop shoot greats. It's only 8 years, and we'll see where they go.
Speaking of hoop shoot greats, former hoop shoot greats, we have 17 returning finalists this year, right?
Yeah,
It's a lot.
So what we're going to do on the show today is we're going to break down each of these 6 divisions for you, right? We're going to start with 8-9, boys first, then girls, then we're going to move to 10-11, and then 12-13. Okay, we're going to set up each competition for you. Then we're going to announce the shooting order and meet the national finalists.
Yeah. Jim's going to come in with the stats, and I've got the facts.
All right. So why don't we take a short break, and when we come back, we'll do boys 8-9.
Yep, we'll start right there.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Now, without any further ado, let's get right into it with the boys 8-9.
All right, let's do it.
Now, historically, this has been one of the most difficult divisions. It's required in the Chicago era, which goes back to 2016, 8 previous national finals. It's required a 24 or better to win this. We've had 5 national champions with perfect 25s, and we've had 3 with 24s. And 3 times, those 5 perfect scores weren't good enough to win. We needed extra shoot-offs to resolve this division. We're looking at hoop shoot history. We have to go back 11 years to find a champion with a 23, right? Somebody who missed 2 shots, and 41 years to go back to find one with a 22. And in the entire 50-plus years of the hoop shoot, there has never been an 8-9 boys national champion who has missed more than 3 regulation shots. So you better bring your A game on Saturday. Now, let's break down this field of 12 shooters, and you have to start with the kid who's been here before. I'm drawing him right there with a little top hat monocle. Here he's holding his basketball, and then fist raised in victory. Looks a little bit like Mr. Peanut, not gonna lie, but that's not a peanut. That's Pickles Bogdansky out of New Jersey. He's back. Now, last year, Pickles was a pretty big deal when he rolled into Chicago. He was shooting 94.67% coming into the finals last year. He faltered a bit in Wintrust Arena, missed 6 shots, which was more than he missed the entire tournament leading up. He's looking for redemption. Made it back here, wants to do better, right? Yeah. But there are three, let's get rid of 5 Pickles. 3 other competitors who are also shooting 90% or better, led by the anchor, the 12th shooter, shooting last, Braxton Pickering at 96%. Braxton was perfect at the lodge level and the district level, 2 perfect scores. Cam Ho also was perfect at district, and Nolan Carroll was perfect at regionals. Now, Nolan is from a family that knows something about a perfect score. He's related to Landon Carroll, the boys 12-13 champion from 2013 who won with a perfect score. Back then, the finals were in Springfield, Massachusetts. Meanwhile, 5 of these sharpshooters sank 24 at regionals. We've got a lot of kids in this field who can hit a 24 or a 25, they've done it before, know they have what it takes to win. Now, these kids come from a rich hoop shoot tradition. We have siblings who competed. We have parents who competed. We have uncles who have competed. We even had one competitor who is the son of a local lodge hoop shoot director. What do you say we meet these kids?
All right, well, thank you for that, Jim. A lot of great information there. Let's get right into it with our first shooter in the 8-9 boys division, and that is Connor Shingleton, sponsored by Arlington, Texas, lodge number 2114.
Connor survived a shootout, 2-round shoot-off at state. Shoot-offs are determined, you tie, and then you have to do sets of 5 shots, and his went 2 sets. He hit 8 out of 10 to get out of the state. His older sister, Kendall, and his sister, Natalie, are both former participants, and his sister, Natalie, won a state competition in 2023.
And Connor's unique talent is remembering statistics and the NBA draft.
Maybe he'll have my job someday.
Maybe.
And our second shooter in the 8-9 boys division is Bridger Hine, represented by Kellogg, Idaho, lodge number 1841.
Pretty consistent shot so far, 22 at district, 22 at state, 22 at regional.
Bridger's dream vacation is going to Wrigley Field, and we are happy to make that dream come true at the national finals.
Yeah, we can get him to Wrigley Field, but we're not sure we can get Nico Horner to play catch with them, right? That's going to be on you, Bridger.
We never know. Nico Horner's a very nice guy. It's very possible, so don't shoot that dream down there yet.
And the hoop shoot's all about making dreams come true.
That's true.
Maybe he'll have 2 dreams come true that weekend.
Exactly. Shooting third in the boys 8-9 division is Jack Burke, sponsored by Severna Park, Maryland, lodge number 2482.
You really struggled at the lodge level hitting 17 out of 25 and then needed a shoot-off to advance, hit 3 out of 5. But he's been better since then and had 22s at state and regional.
And Jack, or Jack-o'-lanterns, Lucky Charm is listening to the same warm-up music on the way to every contest. What do we think he's listening to?
Do you have any ideas?
I don't know.
No idea.
No idea either?
You gotta tell us when you come.
No idea either. But Jack, he's gotten better every round, so we'll see. He definitely has a shot to win this boys 8-9 division. Shooting fourth in the division is Bo Keir, sponsored by Ray, Colorado, lodge number 2409.
And Bo's father is the lodge hoop shoot director that I mentioned at the top. Bo, hit 15 at lodge, 17 at district, but then he really buckled down. And you see that in the hoop shoot. Kids, the deeper they go, the more they practice and the better they want to do. And he went from that 15 and 17 at the first 2 levels to 23s at state and regional. Huge improvement.
And Bo is left-handed, and he's very proud of this. His favorite book is also called Little Lefty.
Also, we mentioned that his dad is a hoop shoot director. His mom's a former participant.
Yeah, so there's a lot in the family there with the hoop shoot. Bo's been around the hoop shoot for sure, and he's excited to come to Chicago. In fifth, we have Cam Ho, represented by Mankato, Minnesota, lodge number 225.
And Cam out of Minnesota, perfect at district with a 25.
Yes,
he had 24 at regional and survived a shoot-off to advance, hitting all 5 of his shots. He's hit 91% for the tournament so far.
Yeah, that's a great number. Whenever you see a 90+, that's pretty scary.
We've heard a lot of unique techniques for kids about how they stay calm at the line. Cam's unique talent is that he can name every American president in order. Do you think that's what he's doing when he's taking his free throws?
Could be.
Could be, yep. Keeps him focused. In sixth, we have, look who it is. Welcome back, Dylan Bogdansky, Pickles, represented by Cedar Grove, New Jersey, lodge number 2237.
Now, in the entire field of 72, we have quite a few returning finalists this year, 17 in total. Dylan's the first. Pickles is his nickname because he's a big Dill. Last year, I said he was hot coming in, shooting 94.67%, missed 6 shots on Saturday in Wind Trust, and tied for 6th place.
And we just like to shout out Dylan's lucky charm, his dog Milo.
Now, he says in his words that last year we got to the national championship and had a disappointing finish, 19 out of 25. I was determined to get back again this year and do better.
Yeah, and that's what we love to see about hoop shoot competitors. This is only Dylan's 2nd year.
Now, he has a number in mind, and I'm pretty sure it ain't 6.
No, it is not. Well, it looks like he also took off the lodge, 20 out of 25, and then look at that, 23, 25, 24.
Yeah,
so
he's
locked in now. In 7th position, we have Chase Rawson, sponsored by Mineral Area Community, Missouri, lodge number 2583.
He hit 24 at regionals. He had a 22 at state and went 5 of 5 in a shoot-off to advance.
Chase's unique talent is racing dirt bikes.
Yeah, interesting.
And his parents and his 2 brothers all competed in the hoop shoots. Another one of these family legacies.
Yeah. I always wonder, how do you get into racing dirt bikes? That seems like a very niche thing. You got a course, I guess, nearby.
You got to live near some dirt.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's move on to the 8th position, and that is one of the brothers of the Carrolls, Nolan Carroll, represented by Alexandria, Indiana, lodge number 478.
We talked about Nolan already, but I didn't mention is that he's one of 2 sibling sets at this year's finals. His brother will be competing later on. He had a perfect 25 at regionals.
Nolan's biggest fan are the high schoolers. Not 1 or 2, all of them.
Across the country? Like every high schooler?
I'm thinking just in his school district, but maybe there's some things we don't know about Nolan.
Maybe there's going to be a watch party. Watch on our Elks National Foundation YouTube page. You can see Nolan live, so check that out. In our 9th position, we have Paxton Plord from Cullman, Alabama, lodge number 1609.
Paxton shot 24 at regionals. He's hit 91% so far, and his cousin was a national finalist.
And the really cool thing about his regional competition is that he missed his first shot and then made all 24.
24 in a row.
It's really hard to come back from that.
Yeah.
Guys, we have another racer. He's drag racing and junior dragster as his unique talent.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Well, he's hoping to race out to a big lead on Saturday.
Exactly. In 10th position, we have Jerry Dauphini, represented by Brunswick, Maine, lodge number 2043.
Another kid who got a 24 at regionals, and at districts he had to make 15 in a row to advance. Oh. Yeah. And he says that he lives in Maine. It can be awfully snowy there. The gym isn't always open, and when he couldn't get into his gym, he would go out on a snow-covered driveway and shoot free throws.
Free throws aren't the only thing that Jerry's good at. He can kick 20-yard field goals.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, the Bears could use him.
Yeah, we could. Speaking of field goals, we'll be having Robbie Gold on Saturday.
Oh, what a segue. This is why we pay him the big bucks, right?
So Robbie Gold will be our guest speaker at the
keynote speaker
banquet.
at the awards banquet, longtime kicker for the Chicago Bears. He
all-time leading scorer for the Bears, so pretty cool.
Which is saying something with the Bears' rich history.
Yeah. I don't know. But
well,
one thing I did want to mention from Jerry, I got to go to the Region 6 contest and see Jerry and talk to his family. And Jerry, they showed me actually his outdoor setup.
Yeah.
He made his own custom ball returner where it comes right back to him, doesn't move, swish, right back to him, swish.
Right back to you.
In the snow, yeah, he's committed. So, and you can see in his scoring, he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. On to the 11th position, we have Bryson Powell, represented by Clovis, California, lodge number 2599.
He hit 22 at state and 22 again at regional. Both times he needed shoot-offs to advance. Both times he hit all 5.
Yeah, so he's gotten through some stuff, some adversity at state and regionals.
Bryson's dream vacation is not only just to go to Hawaii, but to go to Hawaii and go snorkeling for turtles.
I love that.
I'd be happy with Hawaii.
Yeah, there's a lot of Hawaiis. We have a lot of Hawaii vacations, but being specific, he really wants to go snorkeling.
Learned about the hoop shoot from his uncle Mikey. His older brother also participated, placed 3rd in the Western region.
Yeah, awesome. And rounding out the boys 8 to 9 division, in 12th spot, we have Braxton Pickering, represented by Missoula, Hellgate, Montana, lodge number 383.
Braxton's the anchor, shooting last. You know he's going to try to put pressure on from there, setting up difficult second rounds for everybody. He's shooting 96% for the tournament, only missed 4 shots. He was perfect at the lodge, perfect at the district, and then 23s at state and regional.
Well, that's going to be tough at the back end.
Now, he injured himself before regionals, injured his left thumb. He's really struggling during his warm-ups. Took a moment to call his father, and then after a talk with his father, he locked in and was able to get that 23 to advance.
Braxton can do a round-off backflip. So maybe after his last shot at the finals, he'll just backflip back to his chair.
I couldn't do a round-off backflip if you spotted me either backflip.
Yeah, no, I definitely cannot do that either. Yeah. We won't try either.
Well, those are 8-9 boys. We're expecting an exciting competition.
Yep.
It should be tight. It always is with this particular group. Saturday's going to be no different. Can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. And then we do want to mention, if you're only interested in the boys 8 to 9, still stay for the whole event, because after the 12 to 13 at Wintrust Arena, you can enter into our Swish Stakes Awards prize. We have 3 prizes. They're amazing prizes. They're well worth staying. So if you're only interested in 8-9, we still recommend staying for all the events and supporting your regions and things like that. So.
Yeah, you're going to see some pretty good free throw shooting in the other divisions as well. Well, why don't we take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the 8-9 girls.
Sounds good.
Welcome back, everybody. You guys ready to do the girls 8-9 division?
Yeah, let's get it started.
Now, in the Chicago era, going back to 2016, you've needed a 22 or better to win this division. I say that, really, the past 4 contests, it's 24 or better. So not much margin for error for these 8-9 girls. Hoop shoot history, 22 has also been that magic number. You've needed a 22 or better to win this division for 39 years. You have to go all the way back to 1985 to find a champ who missed 4 or more shots, and that's a shout out to Bowling for Soup. If you look at this field, their scores, they're not going to dazzle you. All right, there's a lot of teenage scores in this field. But what you will see when you look at these 12 girls are a bunch of competitors who got here on guts and grit. They scored well enough to advance, and that, at the end of the day, is all that matters. It doesn't matter how glitzy your score is if it's better than everybody else. There are 2 girls to watch, though. One of them is Carolina Mebius, who had a 24 at regionals, and also Kerrigan Price, who shot 23s at state and regional. We also have lots of family connections in this field. There's parents, there's aunts, there's siblings who have participated in the hoop shoot before. One of them is Wrigley Solomon. Her mom was a former state champion. And then there's Braylon Nickerson. Her mom was a 4-time national finalist, and her aunt made it to the national finals twice. So it's in Braylon's blood. What do you say we take a look at that shooting order?
All right, let's get it started. In our first position for the 8 to 9 girls division, we have Cameron Fleming, represented by Hagerstown, Maryland, lodge number 378.
Now, sometimes showing up is half the battle, and she showed up at the lodge level and sang 12, which was enough, and at district she sang 12, and that was enough, but jumped to 22 at state.
And Cameron can make rubber band bracelets really fast.
Cameron clearly worked on her skills and got better, and that's what this program is about.
Now, her mom, Amanda, competed in the hoop shoot in 1991 through 1993.
Wow. All right, family ties. Second position, we have Kenley Christensen, represented by Blackfoot, Idaho, lodge number 1416.
She got out of regionals, hitting 4 out of 5 in the shoot off to advance. Her older sister participated in the hoop shoot one year.
Kenley's nickname is Casey Kangaroo because she likes to jump around a lot.
Casey Kangaroo.
And her dream vacation is to go skydiving and dunk a basketball while she's in the air.
Okay, that's pretty cool. If you ever end up doing that, please send us that video because that would be great. In the third position, we have Braylon Nickerson, represented by Silver City, New Mexico, lodge number 413.
Now, I mentioned Braylon at the top. Her mother is a 4-time national finalist, including 3 straight appearances from 1998 to 2000. Her best finish was second in 10-11 in 2000. She lost a 2-round shoot-off her first, and she also finished third once and fourth twice. And her aunt, as I said, was a 2-time national finalist.
Wow. And Braylon's dream vacation is to go to Hawaii.
Another Hawaii. Maybe we can all go out there one day, or have the hoop shoot out there. Why not?
That's a fantastic idea.
In our fourth position, we have Summer Hamilton, represented by Bluffton, Indiana, lodge number 796.
You know, she was sick for the local competition. Almost didn't come out, but decided to shoot anyways. 12 out of 25, which is enough to get out of there, and she had 20 at regionals to advance to Chicago.
Summer's unique talent is that she can sing all 50 states in alphabetical order.
That's very difficult. Also a Purdue Boilermakers fan.
Yeah, and I have one word for that. Boo!
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
In our fifth position, we have Wrigley Solomon, represented by Sholo, Arizona, lodge number 2090.
As I mentioned at the top, Wrigley's mom was a state champion, and her brother won in his school contest.
And Wrigley goes by Big Rigs, but don't be fooled. She got her nickname because she's really small.
Also, Wrigley will be traveling to Wrigley Field. That's pretty cool.
And that's why we selected the Cubs game for this trip, was just because of the old Big Rig.
We knew. Yep, it was right after we found out. In our sixth position, we have Carolina Mebius, represented by Brookings, South Dakota, lodge number 1490.
Yep, she, as I mentioned, hit 24 out of 25 at the regional. She's shooting 90% in the tournament, and her older brothers participated, Connor and Chase.
And Carolina's special talent is that she can make a left-handed layup, even though she's right-handed.
Ambidextrous. Also, something to note, it's her second year in the program, already made it to the state competition her first year, back now, nationals. Keep an eye on the Mebius.
Yeah, she's motivated by her third place finish to try to go farther this year, and she did.
Yep. In our seventh position, we have Kobe Kern, represented by York, Nebraska, lodge number 1024.
22 at lodge, 22 at district, 22 at state. And her sister is a former competitor.
Now Kobe, or Shnobi, Schnobes, Wobes, Schnoopy, Schnobinator, Cobes, Flaves, likes to wear her socks backwards. That's her lucky charm.
That is an incredible amount of nicknames. My favorite is Schnobinator.
I also like Schnobinator.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad.
Also, lucky charm, Kobe wears her socks backwards.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you did that, but
There's another finalist who wears their socks inside out.
yeah, so interesting.
That way you
Some
get 2 days out of them.
superstitions in this.
That is just smart. That is just smart.
In our eighth position, we have Poppy Baskin-Cowan, represented by Portsmouth, New Hampshire, lodge number 97.
I mentioned that sometimes showing up is half the battle, and that was literally true in Poppy's case. She was the only competitor in her division at the lodge level, so won by default, but she also put up a 21 at the lodge level, which is pretty solid.
That's very good for the lodge scores.
Yeah.
Poppy's good at shooting free throws, but she can also solve a Rubik's Cube.
Nice.
Awesome. I also had a chance to see Poppy at the Region 6 contest, and she battled out that regional win. It was tough. A lot of girls were close, and they had a close battle, but Poppy was the strongest that day.
Yeah. You know, the yips can be contagious, and a couple competitors start missing their shots. Pretty soon everybody's missing their shots.
It's tough. It's a different environment as you move up in the competition.
But again, this field of 12 has proven that, they can make their scores work.
They're winners.
Yep.
In our ninth position, we have McKinley Parks, represented by Benton County, Missouri, lodge number 2783.
Another one who needed a shoot-off to survive the local competition. Hit 10 out of 25 and then 3 out of 5 to advance.
McKinley's unique talent is crochet. Do you think we'll see the hook and thread out on the field?
Well, she's going to try to stitch herself a championship.
Ooh. Smooth, Jim.
Yep.
Also, shout out to the Skyline Lady Tigers from Missouri. They're ranked 7th in the state of Missouri. They had a great season. So I want to shout them out.
All right.
In our 10th position, we have Isla Gress, represented by Madison, Wisconsin, lodge number 410.
And another one last year, her first year in the hoop shoot, she went to her local competition, only girl to compete, hit 0 out of 25 to advance by default. Her parents decided, and she and her parents decided that maybe she wasn't ready to compete at district, so she worked harder this year, got her scores up, hit 22 out of regional to advance here to Chicago.
That's really impressive. Isla also likes moral mushroom hunting.
Wow, interesting. I noticed that too with the 0 out of 25.
Yeah,
And then, I mean, how hard is that to go from 0 to 22 a year later? That's
it's a lot of practice.
In a lot
is
of
what
work.
It is, right? It's a lot of work, a lot of practice.
Moral practice.
More.
There we go, right?
All right, moving on. In our 11th position, we have Kerrigan Price, represented by Columbia, Middletown, Pennsylvania, lodge number 1074.
She's coming off 23s at the state and regional. Her mom participated in the hoop shoot, and her Uncle Mike, shout out to Uncle Mike, and Uncle Mike's everywhere, competed when he was a kid.
Kerrigan can do a lot of basketball trick shots, so it makes sense that her favorite team is the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect. Yep, I marked that down as well. That was beautiful, Abby.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Our 12th position, we have Griffin Reed, represented by Dalton, Georgia, lodge number 1267.
19 at lodge, 19 at district, 19 at regional. Her best round was 21 at state. And her sister made it to the Southeast region, but lost there.
Griffin is talented at the line, but she's also talented in her sleep. She's great at walking and talking in her sleep.
God, you can get so much done.
So much done.
Could you imagine?
Those are the girls 8 and 9, right?
All right, yeah. It'll be a tight competition, as all these divisions, once you get to this spot.
Now, if you're showing up just to cheer on that 8 and 9-year-old girl, we encourage you to stick around, right?
Yeah, until the end of the contest. At the end of the 12 to 13 division, we will be collecting raffle tickets for the Swish Stakes. 3 prizes, and they're great prizes.
Yeah.
Worth winning.
Gonna want to stay.
All right, why don't we take another short break, and when we come back, we will tackle
boys 10 to 11.
Yes, we will. Welcome back, everybody. Now we're about to make the jump to the 10 to 11 age group, just as those competitors must make the jump from the 8-9 line, which is 4 feet in front of the actual foul line, right? Stepping back, bigger shot, can be a difficult adjustment for the graduating 8-9 kids.
Right.
So we have some of those, and we have some old hats, 11-year-olds in this round. Now the boys 10-11, which we're going to talk about next, is it's the least competitive of the 3 boys division, but only just. The magic number in the Chicago era has been 23. 23 are better to win, but the past 5 contests sound like a broken record. You've needed a 24 or better. We've had 4 champions with perfect scores, and twice we needed shoot-offs to resolve those perfect scores. Looking at hoop shoot history, you got to go back 11 years to find someone who has missed 3 and still won. And this is also the golden year. The golden year for 21. It's been 21 years. 21 years since anybody has won this division with a 21. Now let's talk about this particular field of 12, and you got to start again with the returnees, and there are 2 who have been here before. We'll start with Jacob Williams. Jacob won a 3-way shoot-off to finish 3rd in 8-9 last year. He hit all 5 of the extra shots, so he's been through the pressure situation. He shot in this gym as recently as last year. He's making the step up to the 10-11. Meanwhile, Armante 24 took the big prize in 2023. He posted a 25 to win 8-9 that year. He'll be looking to burnish his Hall of Fame resume with the 2nd championship.
Awesome.
But
more?
Don't step on my lines, man. Don't overlook Finn Hinman, who was perfect at state. 4 other boys have posted 24s at some point in the tournament, including Jackson Holdsworth, the only one to do it at regionals. We also have a sibling rivalry to watch. Deacon Carroll, we talked about his brother Nolan in the boys 8-9. He'll be following, shooting the boys 10-11. He'll be following Nolan. And he's going to do a little bit better than Nolan, right? And then, if we had an oldies bracket in the hoop shoot, it would be loaded with parents from this division. We have 7 of these kids, 7, have a mom or dad who previously participated in the hoop shoot, 6 dads and a mom. Let's meet these 10-11
boys. All right. Well, as you said, in our first position, Deacon Carroll, the second of the Carroll brothers, is here, and he is represented by Alexandria, Indiana, lodge number 478.
Hit 24 out of state. That was his best round in the tournament. As we said, his brother is competing this year, but his dad has also competed.
Deacon's unique talent is playing video games, and both he and his brother have their dog's name written on their shoes.
And dog recently passed away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to bring the energy down on the show, Jim, right?
Well, they'll be shooting for Jackson, their dog, so keep that in mind. In the second position, we have Trey Estes, represented by Anaconda, Montana, Lodge number 239.
Now, Trey survived shoot-offs at the state and regional levels, hitting 4 out of 5 in both to advance. His dad's a former hoop shooter, his older brother participated, and his younger brother, Duke, also participated.
And I'll be looking out for Trey's lucky charm, his Ninja Turtle socks.
Cool, love that. I wonder which Ninja Turtle is his favorite. In the third position, we have Turner Ivan, represented by Lodge, or Midwest City, Oklahoma, Lodge number 1890.
His sister, Tenley, has participated, and his dad, Van Shea, competed from 1978 through 1981. He advanced to state, but never made it to the regionals.
And Turner's got a lot of fans, a lot of hoop shoot history in his family. And his grandma will be coming to Chicago, and she's 92 years old.
Oh, look at
Wow,
that.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, and Turner even mentioned, he said his dream was to get to Chicago. So, dream accomplished.
As an 11-year-old, done. It's all downhill from here, buddy.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. He's obviously very talented, and we expect him to have a good showing here in Chicago. In our fourth position, we have Weston Lau, represented by Greater Spokane, Washington, Lodge number 228.
Survived a shoot-off at state, hitting 4 out of 5 to advance, and then a shoot-off at regional, hitting all 5 to advance.
Weston's lucky charm is wearing the number 30.
And first time I've seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid as the favorite book. You know,
I know.
That's been a popular one in prior years.
Used to be a staple.
So, yeah. So
Every year,
still,
it's usually the most
lingering
popular
around.
book.
So cool to see. All right, moving on. In our fifth position, we have Armante Ventiquattro, a returner, as you mentioned.
Yeah, we talked about him at the top. He hit 21s at the district, state, and regional level, 5 out of 5 at regionals to advance in a shoot-off. He was a little hotter in 2023, shooting at a 90% clip en route to the finals. But he knows what it takes to win a championship in Wintrust Arena. His dad competed when he was growing up. His sister placed 3rd in the regionals this year. And then his uncle, Mario Ventiquattro, competed in 1998 as a national finalist in boys 10-11.
Bo's unique talent is bass fishing, and you might call him the River King, which is his favorite book.
Pretty cool. And by the way, Bo is represented by Boonville, New York, Lodge number 2158. In our sixth position, we have Hudson Gale, represented by Waynesboro, Virginia, Lodge number 2270.
Another one of the 7 who had a parent participate. His dad competed when he was a kid. Yeah.
Hudson's favorite team is Duke, and his lucky charm is wearing Duke basketball attire. So he must be celebrating, huh?
Yeah, they made a Final Four run here, a deep run, so congrats to him on that. In our 7th position, we have Jackson Fuller, represented by Golden Spike, Utah, Lodge number 719.
He posted 21s at Lodge District and Regional. A 23 in state was his best round. His older sister, Allie, participated as well.
And Jackson's not picky about his dream vacation. His dream is to go anywhere warm with palm trees.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jackson, you will not see any palm trees in Chicago. We can't do that. But I did like that his favorite part of the contest is swishing free throws and winning trophies. So he knows what he's doing. Moving on to number 8, we have Finn Hinman, represented by Port Orange, Florida, Lodge number 2723.
His road to Chicago started inauspiciously with a 16 at the Lodge level, but by state, he was perfect. 25 out of 25 to advance, 21 at regionals. Here he is, knowing he can step at that line and not miss a shot. Done it before.
Finn is also great at solving different Rubik's Cubes. The Megaminx, the Scube, the Ivy, the Dino, the 2x2, the 3x3, the 5x5. Maybe he and Poppy should hang out and see who's faster.
Yeah, we might have to have a competition on the side, maybe during like movie night or something. So.
Halftime show?
Yeah, halftime show, exactly. All right, moving on to our 9th position, we have Jacob Williams, a returner from Jacksonville, Illinois, lodge number 682.
You know, he was finished third last year, 5 out of 5 to win a three-way shoot-off for third. His dad participated, his older brother participated. He hit 24 out of district, his best round.
His unique talent is that he can throw a baseball 60 miles per hour.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That's really fast.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to our 10th spot, we have Jaden Gilliard, represented by Fort Smith, Arkansas, lodge number 341.
Jaden sank 23 at regionals to get here.
Jaden's unique talent is that he can shoot three-pointers, like Curry.
That is very common these days. There are a lot of three-pointers out there in the basketball world these days, but this is free throws. Right?
I mean, you're welcome to step back to the arc, but it's only going to count for one.
Yep.
Right?
That's a risk you're willing to take. Good luck there. All right, moving on to our 11th position, we have Cole Kavanagh, and he is represented by Kearney, Nebraska, lodge number 984.
Cole hit 24 out of 25 at the state level to advance. His sister Kendall, his brother Noah, and his mom, all former hoop shooters.
Cole's unique talent is that he never knows a stranger. He makes friends anywhere.
Pretty good. And 89% on the season here. That's going to be one of the higher ones we see in the boys 10 to 11. All right, rounding out our boys 10 to 11 in the 12th position is Jackson Holdsworth, represented by Holton, Maine, lodge number 835.
Another 24 at regionals, did it recently, 23 at states. This is his fourth year in the program. He's made it to states 3 out of the 4 years.
That's really
Got a
nice.
third, a second, and finally first this year.
Jackson's unique talent is his sense of humor.
I'm looking to, to hear some jokes from him.
Yeah, we might find out. And again, we do want to mention, if you're here for the 10 to 11 boys contest, please stay for the 12 to 13 as well. Afterwards, we will have a raffle entry into our Swish Stakes prizes. Plenty of good stuff for that. Great prizes is what we've heard.
Great prizes.
Stay for it and enter, but you must stay at the end of the
Watch
event.
it all. Why would you want to miss something? History could be made.
Yeah.
Right? History could be.
And you'll miss lunch if you leave right after 10-11.
And you don't want to do that. And the halftime show at some point, right?
And support your region, right?
And support your region, because there's the team contest at stake. It's not just an individual sport. You're competing for yourself, but each region is competing for the coveted Cam and Linda Cronk Award, right?
There you go. Exactly.
Okay, so those were the 10-11s, 10-11 boys. Why don't we take a short break and come back with the 10-11 girls?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. You guys ready for the 10-11 girls?
Indeed.
All right.
Get it going.
So this division, it's taken a 22 or better in the Chicago years, those 8 previous contests. And I say that, and once again, it's like there was one 22. We've had 5 23s and 2 24s to win this division. Let's talk some hoop shoot history. Now, I'm going to draw this right here. Look at this. I'm drawing a nice umbrella. There's the handle. And I'm going to make this umbrella a pointless umbrella. The reason why this umbrella is pointless is because no one in this division has been able to make it rain since 2006, when the great Carly Samuelson did it. Now, Carly is a career 91.9% free throw shooter in the W, right? Former hoop shooter, former national champ. But this could be the year. This field is loaded with returning players. 5 of them, 5 have been to the finals before. They've shot in this arena. They're not going to be fazed by the bigger venue, the hoop with no background, right? They've seen it before. Now, from last year's 8-9 division, we have 2/3 of the podium. Presley Page and Jalen Hines finished 2nd and 3rd last year. They are back this year, making a step up to 10-11. They are joined by Caroline Kuhlman, who also competed in that division, but finished a bit farther back. So she's looking for a redemption. Meanwhile, Lucy Lathan and Raya McCombie bumped into each other in the 2023 8-9 division, right? So we've got some old rivalries coming forward. These 5 girls, they're not going to be fazed. They're going to be ready. They're going to be locked in. while you're thinking of these 5, do not overlook Jacinta Patel, the hometown hero who knocked down 24 out of 25 at regionals, or Bianca Smith, or Logan Parkinson, both of whom sank 23 in the semifinal round. I'll tell you what, I'm starting to get that feeling in my old weary bones that usually means it's about to rain.
All right. Well, that was unbelievable. And as you said, we have 5 returnees in this girls 10 to 11, and we're leading off with one of them. In our first of the shooting order, we have Presley Page, represented by Midwest City, Oklahoma Lodge number 1890.
So last year at Wintrust, she tied with Ainsley Weaver for first, and then hit 3 of 5 in a shoot-off to finish second. She goes by Press, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's coming off a 19 at regionals.
Her lucky charm is wearing the same outfit for every hoop shoot. And I feel like if I close my eyes and think hard enough, I can picture it. It's a gray t-shirt, black shorts, and a black headband.
That could be right, and hopefully that outfit has been washed.
I hope so.
I don't know. Sometimes if you're superstitious, you might not want to.
Yeah. Let's just hope.
She hasn't lost yet.
Let's hope
right?
that Press is only a little stitious.
Yeah, and she's looking to one-up her uncle, Keaton, by the way, because her uncle Keaton did make it to the finals once, but not a second time.
Yeah, that's right. He hit 23 out of 25 and 4 out of 5 in a shoot-off for first.
Yeah.
National runner-up.
So,
and Dad Brady, also a former hoop shooter.
Yep. So a lot in the family there. In second, we have Lucy Lathan, represented by Grants Pass, Oregon, Lodge number 1584.
So we've got 2 returners right out of the gates.
Right out of the gates.
Looking to put the pressure on. You know, it's funny, you talk to the hoop shooters about where they prefer to shoot in the shooting order. And this is, this is going to be, except maybe the Lodge, this is going to be the largest field for any of these kids, right? Regionals, the biggest is 6, and the smallest is 3. So this is at least twice as long. That you have to wait in between those first and second shots. But you talk to the kids, and some of them like to go first, some prefer to go last, and some don't care. But you can't defend against a free throw, right? You can't get up and get your hand in somebody's face, try to block the ball. All you can do is put pressure on them. And when you're shooting at the top of the shooting order, you can do that. Out of the gate, these 2 girls are going to be looking to put pressure on everybody coming behind them.
Absolutely.
Lucy's lucky charm are her Oregon Duck shoes. Do we think they're webbed?
Hey-oh. You know what? Next year for Monday Madness, we're investing in a drummer for rim shots.
Oh, yeah. That would be beautiful.
Or at least a laugh track. Laugh track would be good too.
In third position, we have Gibson Barrent, represented by Webb City, Missouri, Lodge number 861.
Now, in the past years doing this show, we've been doing it for a few years now, I've remarked and sort of made fun of all the Golden State Warrior fans, that you see. There's so many of them because of Steph Curry, obviously. This year, we're starting to see, and I love it, quite a few Indiana Fever fans, and I wonder why that is, right?
I wonder why.
A little someone named Caitlin Clark.
Gibson wants to go to the beach, but she doesn't want to stay in any house. She wants a luxurious house on the beach.
Well, if she ends up on the Indiana Fever, maybe that is possible. Also, as an Indiana Fever fan, I did go to Caitlin Clark's opening game on the Fever, and she is well worth the watch.
And you came by it sort of honestly. You went to Iowa, as did Caitlin.
Yeah, I went to Iowa as well.
Yeah,
right. So Caitlin Clark, I was there for her freshman year. It was unbelievable. She was a fire. So it's cool to see that she's getting a lot of attention from a lot of these girls as well.
I mean, she's changed the game. I mean,
yeah,
she's put eyes on the game.
Absolutely.
It's great.
One of a kind type of player. So moving on here, in our fourth position, we have Jacinta Patel, represented by Des Plaines, Illinois, Lodge number 1526.
As I mentioned at the top, 24 out of 25 at regionals. Now, this is kind of funny, I thought. We asked all these kids how they learned about the hoop shoot, and she said, my mom Googled free throw contests right here in our backyard, and she Googled it to find out about it. So we need to do some work on that, I suppose.
Her favorite team is also the Chicago Cubs.
Love that.
No one could be perfect.
Haven't seen a Sox fan yet.
There's one right here.
I know, but in the field of 72, we haven't seen it yet. All right. Well, moving on to our 5th position, we have Bianca Smith, represented by Raceway, Arizona, Lodge number 2852.
Yeah, she hit 23. There's 25 at regionals. I mentioned her at the top.
Bianca goes by Bianca Buckets because she's so good at draining three-pointers.
Yeah, and lucky charm, her Dennis Rodman shirt, a former Chicago Bull, so that's pretty cool, being in the same city. And our 6th position, we have Marley Steele, represented by Salisbury, North Carolina, Lodge number 699.
Now, Marley found her way to the competition the old school way. Her father read about it in the local newspaper.
Marley's lucky charm is her teddy bear. And we're really looking to see if we can find in the budget enough room to get a small chair for them at the finals.
Nice.
And one note on Salisbury, North Carolina, they reached out to us about, when was their last finalist? Mm-hmm. They've had one finalist before, and it was back in like 1971 or somewhere back there. So yeah, this is a rare territory for Salisbury. We're happy to have them back in the hoop shoot program, and Marley has represented them very well by making it to the national finals. In our 7th position, we have Logan Parkinson, represented by Grand Rapids, Michigan, Lodge number 48.
Now, she's hoping to have a grand old time on Saturday. She hit 23 out of 25 at regional, so she's ready for the big round, I think.
Logan's unique talent is making her teammates laugh.
Now, we got a lot of jokesters in this field.
Yeah. Now, one thing interesting about Logan is last year she lost at the state finals to the eventual national champion, Blake Ensfield.
Oh,
now,
okay.
She didn't have to get past Blake this year because Blake moved up to the 12, 13-year-old division, and spoiler alert, made it back.
In the field.
But maybe next year they'll have another clash at states.
Good note there. All right, in our 8th position, we have another returnee, Caroline Kuhlman, represented by North Glen, Colorado, Lodge number 2438.
Now, Caroline finished in a tie for 10th last year. She wants to do better this year. She survived shoot-offs at the state and regional levels to get her.
Wow.
Caroline runs a sports card YouTube channel, and you can check her out at CWK Sports Cards. You can also see Caroline in a Grideo from this past year called The Big Court.
Nice.
Good plugs.
Yep.
All right, another returnee in our 9th position, Jalen Hines, represented by Bismarck, Mandain, North Dakota, Lodge number 1199.
Jalen finished 3rd last year. She was in a 3-way shoot-off for 3rd, hit 4 out of 5 to lock that down in the first round, making the step back to 10-11 with 2 of her peers from that contest. Looking to do a little bit better this year.
Her favorite team is the Nebraska Cornhuskers, which is an awesome name.
Yeah, well, as my nanny would have said, I'm glad someone likes them.
Yeah, I agree with that as an Iowa Hawkeye. In our 10th position, we have Michaela Lawson, represented by Quincy, Massachusetts, Lodge number 943.
She hit 22 out of regionals. Now, this is her 3rd year competing in the program. She made it to the regionals last year and got 2nd place. She made it 2nd place in state last year, was determined this year to go farther, worked hard, put in a lot of practice, and here she is at the national finals.
That's what it's about.
Michaela, or Mickey, dreams of going to Ireland.
Oh, that's a cool trip.
Mm-hmm.
In our 11th position, we have Rhea McCombie, another returnee represented by Latrobe, Pennsylvania, Lodge number 907.
She tied for 5th in girls 8-9 in 2023. She's had to wait 2 years for her shot at redemption, but it is upon her.
Her lucky charm is her red Indiana basketball t-shirt that she wears to every hoop shoot contest.
Well, and there's a hoop shooter I can get behind. No booze for you, only I use.
Oh, man.
He will be cheering for you come Saturday. In our 12th position, we have Claire Bullock, and she is represented by Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Florida, Lodge number 2855.
Another one who survived a tough shoot-off at the regional level, 4 out of 5 to advance to Chicago.
Claire's lucky charm? Basketball socks with her dog's face on them.
Wow.
Those are the girls 10-11. And again,
I would like to see those.
I'm still feeling really good. I think one of them might make it rain.
Yeah, this is a tough division.
Make it end the drought.
I feel like you opening the umbrella indoors is bad luck.
For me, not them.
Well, we
We'll
were
see.
under it too.
Prove us wrong.
Hey, by the way, this is a good time to point out, if you're enjoying the show, if you want to be kept up to date when we post more content, including videos about the hoop shoot, videos about our scholarship programs, why don't you hit the like button now and subscribe? It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Use those thumbs of yours, right? Yep. Now, what should they do if they're on site on Saturday and only interested in this 10 to 11 contest?
Well, I think they should stay for the 12 to 13 division as well. We'll stay for lunch and then stay for the 12 to 13 division and then enter into our raffle, the Swish Stakes, which we've mentioned on the show now. But yeah, it's going to be 3 prizes, great prizes. You're going to want to enter. You just got to stay for all the events of the contest.
All right. Abby, anything else to add?
Take a quick break and come back for 12-13.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Welcome back, everybody, and it's about to get hot in here because we're talking about the 12, 13-year-old boys. Now, this is usually the toughest competition, and this year, no reason to expect that's not going to be the case. In the Chicago era, those 8 years, it's taken a 24 or better to win. We've had 5 champions with perfect scores in those 8 contests. Hoop shoot history, 15 years since a 23, so 15 years since missing 2 shots didn't mean you were hoping for second place, and 38 years since a 22 won this division. All right, so it's not just in Chicago, it's been historically one of the toughest divisions. Now, this field of 12 is loaded with hot shots. This is, I don't know if you could tell that. That's fire. That's supposed to be fire anyway. Maybe I should stick to drawing pickles. Loaded with hot shots. 10 of these kids are averaging 90% or better, and they're led by Cooper Thompson at 97%. Now, let me do a little bit math for you. There's 4 levels of competition, 25 regulation shots in each level. That's 100. He's hitting 97%. He's missed only 3 shots so far, okay? 9 of these kids have posted perfect scores at some point in the tournament. That's 9 for 25. And Cooper has done it twice. An astonishing 4 turned the trick at regional. So in the penultimate round of the tournament, when the stakes are big, 4 of these kids had perfect scores, right? And 4 of them have been to Chicago before. They're familiar faces. We've got Parker Evans, who was here in 2022 when he finished 4th in 8-9 after losing a shoot-off for 3rd. You know he can't wait for his second chance. It's been 3 years coming. Hayden Hevener tied for 4th in 10-11 in 2023. Beckett Jilka won that division in 2024. And meanwhile, Cooper Thompson, brother of 2020 national champ for boys 12-13, Caden, and is making his 4th trip to the national finals. He competed in 2020, 2022, 2023, finishing 5th, 4th, and 3rd, and he's back this year. Get your popcorn, strap it down, and watch our live stream for this one. You don't want to miss it.
That was beautiful and correct because this is a very difficult division. Leading off in the first position, we have Brazen Smith, represented by Wheeling, West Virginia, lodge number 28, which shout out to Morgan Mealy, a past Getty Powell champ.
Wheeling, no stranger to the hoop shoot. She won in 2023. Brazen is coming off a perfect score at states, a 24 at regionals. He's hitting 94% for the tournament. His mom is a hoop shooter. His uncle was a hoop shooter. Both of them won the West Virginia State competition, so he's going a little bit farther than them. And, true story, Brazen is like the 5th cousin of an advisory board member for the hoop shoot, Mike Smith, who's also the chairman of the Elks National Foundation, which is the funding body of the hoop shoot. That won't help him in the tournament. He's got to win this on his own.
And last year, he came in 2nd at regionals.
Yeah.
Worked hard, and now he's at the national finals.
You hear that a lot, like that second place finish, that little taste of defeat, and these kids decide they want to buckle down and work harder, which of course is no guarantee that they're going to make it this far.
Right.
but it is going to help them get better. And the improvement that you show at the free throw line from that practice is what reinforces the lesson that hard work and practice and are going to help you in whatever you choose to do.
Right. And he's a switch hitter in baseball. That's pretty impressive. So Brazen's got a lot of talents. In our second position, we have Cooper Thompson, represented by Claremore, Oklahoma, lodge number 1230.
So again, we already talked about Cooper. These two kids are coming out, 1-2, putting the pressure on everybody. Cooper was perfect at lodge with a 25. He was perfect at state with a 25. He had a 24 at regionals, and then needed to shoot off to advance, hitting 5 out of 5, 97% on the tournament. He finished 5th in 2020 in 8-9. He tied for 4th in 10-11 in 2022, and he was on the podium in 2023 for boys 10-11.
Wow.
Yeah. All that free throw stuff is exciting, but the really cool part about Cooper is that he can make chipmunk noises when he talks.
I think another really cool thing about the hoop shoot is, we mentioned that this is his 4th trip to the national finals. In 6 tries, because the 2021 year you couldn't advance beyond the district level that year because of COVID. But last year, he lost in a school competition. He didn't even make it out of there, which just is a reminder that you're not the only kid out there working hard, right? Hard work isn't always going to be enough, right? Hard work is not guaranteed to get you to the national finals, but it's going to get you somewhere good, right?
It also illustrates you never know where your toughest competition could come from.
Right.
I mean, you can't just try to sleepwalk through a lodge contest.
Right. Nobody gets a bye.
Yeah, there's no buys. So, yeah, you never know. Some people have an easier path than others, but we're all here now, and there's a lot of talent.
Well, nothing's going to be easy on Saturday, I'll tell you.
No, yeah, nothing will be easy on Saturday.
But it will be fun.
Yeah, and hopefully everyone stays. In our third position for the 12 to 13 division, we have Paxton Gear, represented by Lawrenceville, Illinois, lodge number 1208.
He hit 24 out of 25 at district. That's his best rounds so far. 92% in the tournament. His dad, his uncle, and several other family members have competed in the hoop shoot. They are no strangers to this program.
As a fellow Ohioan, I feel like I have to point out that his favorite team is the Cincinnati Bengals.
There you go, Joe Burrow. All right, in our fourth position, we have Hutton Brown, represented by Wilkins, Pennsylvania, lodge number 577.
The first thing that jumped out at me when looking at Hutton's stat sheet is his height. He's a 6-footer, big kid. Second is that he was perfect at regionals with a 25. He's shooting 92% in the tournament so far.
Hutton's dream vacation is to go to Boston, Massachusetts, maybe to see his favorite team, the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, there you go. And they're doing very well, and I believe they won the championship last year as well. So he's a winner through and through, Hutton. All right, in our fifth position, we have Bryce Espinoza, represented by Putnam, Connecticut, lodge number 574.
And Bryce is probably thinking, Boston, Massachusetts, no big deal, right? He's coming out of New England. He'd rather go to California. He had 24 at district, 24 at state, perfect 25 at regionals, 93% in the tournament. His brother competed, his aunt competed, and they both made it to the national finals.
Yeah, his brother was here 2 years ago, so.
I know for a fact that Bryce's family are not strangers to our live stream because last year they were hyping up TJ in the comments section.
Nice.
Hoping to see that support again this year.
Yeah, send it to friends and families and join the chat. One note on Bryce I did want to say. Again, lucky enough to go to Region 6 this year, and I got to see that perfect score. I believe he hit the rim on his 11th shot. Maybe it was his 12th. Outside of that, he did not touch the rim.
Wow.
So it was all swishes. We were in awe, for sure. All right. In our sixth position, we have a returnee and a returning national champion, Beckett Jilka, represented by Hoxie, Kansas, lodge number 2415.
He won 2024 last year, was the overall boys winner too, Getty Powell Award winner with a perfect score, 25 out of 25, boys 10-11. He's making the jump up to 12-13 this year. He was perfect again at the district level. He's shooting 92%. And interestingly, both of last year's 10-11 champs made it back this year. The boy and the girl are both back to compete in the 12-13 contests. And both of them will be trying to join a pretty select group in hoop shoot lore. Only 8 people in the entire 50-plus year history of the program, only 8 have had back-to-back championships. Each one of these would like to be the 9th.
Beckett's dream vacation is to go on a cruise.
Wow. And another note on Beckett, he broke his arm playing basketball last summer, stepped up, still came back for the hoop shoot, and is back at the national finals.
Wow.
Pretty tough. All right, in our 7th position, another returnee, we have Hayden Heavener, represented by Jacksonville, Florida, Lodge number 221.
23 out of 25 at the regions, 5 of 5 in shoot-off to advance. 2023, he was here in Chicago, so close to walking away with some hardware. He tied for 4th in the boys 10-11 division. Waiting 2 years to get another crack at one of those big trophies.
Yep.
Hayden's unique talent is that he can make 5 shots with his eyes closed. Do we
Wow.
think he's going to be trying that at the finals?
Maybe in warm-ups.
And I've always wondered who was the one person whose favorite team is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it turns out it's Hayden.
Yeah,
He's the one.
Yeah, that's they've had a rough go at it, but you never know. In the NFL, you can get good in 1 year. So, moving on to our 8th position, we have Rene Cortez Jr., represented by Tucson, Arizona, Lodge number 385.
And Renee's on a bit of a heater.
Yeah.
24 at state, 24 at regional. He's shooting 93% for the tournament.
Renee's favorite book, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And I think he's hoping to steal the win here,
I
too.
was gonna say that.
Ooh, beat you to it.
Yeah.
Well, one thing is that Renee has a lot of skill and is red hot. And I don't know if have we seen one under 90% yet? I don't think we have. So this division is very difficult.
Loaded.
All right, in the 9th position, we have Chase Mebius, represented by Brookings, South Dakota, Lodge number 1490.
And our second sibling set, we've already talked about the Carrolls. Now we have the Mebiuses. His sister, I believe, was in Girls 8-9. Perfect at state, 23 at regional. Another one to keep an eye on.
Chase's dream vacation is to go golfing with Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods.
That would be pretty awesome. That's a great vacation, Chase. All right, our 10th spot, we have Sawyer Butler, represented by Preston, Idaho, Lodge number 1670.
And another one of the perfect scores at regional. So in the penultimate round of the tournament, he was perfect to advance to Chicago. He's shooting 93% for the tournament.
Butler. Butler. His unique talent might come in handy at the finals. It is that he can click his tongue loud enough to quiet an entire gym.
That we could use. So
Yeah.
we might need him for 10-11 while he's not shooting.
Yep.
Yeah. there
After
we go.
lunch, bring everybody back to
yeah.
the court.
Exactly. Also, his lucky charm is a Wilson Evolution basketball, which we do use. So lucky for him. In our 11th position, we have Wyatt Wagner, represented by Sturgis, Michigan, Lodge number 1381.
He's got a gunslinger's name. Now, and pay attention to this space, because we just talked about Sawyer, who had a perfect score at regionals. Wyatt also had a perfect score at regionals and a 24 at state, so he's on a roll.
Wyatt's lucky charm, wearing one sock inside out. Just one.
I'm not sure what is with that, but I guess that's a thing these days. All right. Rounding out our 12 to 13 boys division, in the 12th spot, we have a returnee, Parker Evans, represented by Cleveland, Tennessee, Lodge number 1944.
And I said to pay attention to this space because he's the third shooter in a row who had a perfect score at regionals, 25 out of 25. He had a 24 at state, a 24 at Lodge. He's shooting 96%. For the tournament, he's only missed 4 shots. He was here in 2022. He lost to shoot off for third, to finish 4th. Again, oh so close, and he's waited a long time to get back to Chicago for another crack.
Parker's unique talent is being calm.
Well, that will certainly help him in the hoop shoot, which is probably why he's made it to the
And
national
you know,
finals.
he's gonna
twice.
be. You need to be calm in that 12th spot because all you can do
Oh,
is
yeah.
wait for a long time.
You
Those
will be
first
waiting,
11
Parker.
shooters
You
take
will
their,
be
their
waiting.
first round of 10. You're waiting, right? Then you get your crack, and you're hoping to match anybody and put pressure on the ones who weren't as good as you.
Well, that rounds out our 12 to 13 boys, and if you are in attendance for the 12 to 13 boys, lucky you, because all you got to do is stay till after the contest and join the Swish Stakes raffle. It's going to be 3 great prizes. Just enter into the raffle after the contest. It'll be as you leave Wintrust Arena. But yes, it's new this year, and we're very excited to do it.
And I've been to a lot of national finals. I think the first one I went to was in '92 or '93, and I've been to every one since I believe '96. I've seen, a lot of really good contests. This field is loaded. I mean, this is going to be a really good competition, these boys 12, 13.
Yeah.
So if you're not with us in Chicago, you're going to want to watch the live stream, tune into this one. It's going to be really good.
Yep. All right. Should we jump to?
Yeah, let's take
12
a
to
quick
13
break
girls?
and we'll come back. We will bring it home with the 12, 13-year-old girls.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You guys ready to wrap this up with the girls 12, 13?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into it. In the Chicago era, we've been looking for a 23 to win this division. Now we've had 2 perfect scores and 4 24s. All right, so a 23 doesn't guarantee you anything, but you're looking for a 23 to get in play. Now, hoop shoot history, it's been 15 years since a 22 was good enough, and a whopping 38 years since a 21 would have worked. This field in particular, this field of 12, we have 5 former finalists, which ties girls 10-11 for the largest contingent. And I think we start with Olivia Brogdon. She's the only one who competed for this crown last year, and she finished second, losing a 3-round shoot-off, 14-13. Blake Ensfield was second to none in girls 10-11 last year, including Kaylin Strader. Kaylin lost a 3-round shoot-off for third, 12-11. Emily Crawford and Amelin Switzer waited a little longer between trips. Emily was here for the 50th anniversary in 2022 when she lost a shoot-off for third, and Amelin was a national finalist in 2023. Now, Olivia has the hot hand. She's shooting 96% for the tournament and was perfect at district. But 3 other girls are averaging 90% or better, including Grace Wilhelm, who was perfect at regional. 4 times in 8 years during the Chicago era, we've needed extra free throws to settle this division. I like those odds.
All right. Well, let's get right into it. In our first position, we have Olivia Brogdon, a returnee. Also, her sister was here in 2023 as a finalist, and she is represented by Sheridan, Wyoming, lodge number 520.
This is her last crack at the hoop shoot. She's graduating after this. She's aging out of the program. She was in this division competing last year. She's the hottest shooter in this field, and she gets to go first. She's coming off a 24 at lodge, a 25 at district, a 24 at state, and a 23 at regional, 96%. Again, last year, she tied for second, or she finished second after losing a shoot-off for first, a 3-round shoot-off. She had 13 out of 15, which wasn't quite good enough. She finished second. And her sister was the national runner-up in 2023. We already talked about Morgan Mealy. Maggie Brogdon finished second that year, and the legend Bree Bessinen finished third.
Olivia's dream vacation is to go somewhere warm that has basketball. We can't promise it's going to be warm in Chicago for the hoop shoot, but we can promise some basketball.
There will be basketball. And Wintrust Arena, last I checked, climate controlled.
Indeed it is.
But the contest will be hot.
Yes, with the shoot.
Hey-o.
All right. In second, we have Danielle Deem, represented by Golden Spike, Utah, lodge number 719. Second Golden Spike, Utah.
Yeah. Her brother was the Utah State champion in 2022.
We're sorry, Danielle. Her lucky charm is the number 3. You're shooting second, so you're kind of close.
Close.
We are sorry about that. All right. In the third position, we have Bella Brown, represented by Boca Raton, Florida, lodge number 2166.
She competed at regionals with a sprained ankle.
Wow.
And all she did there was 21 out of 25 to tie for first, and then all 5 shots in the shoot-off to make it to Chicago.
That's gritty.
Bella's unique talent is that she can whistle.
All right. In the fourth position, we have Blake Ensfield, represented by South Haven, Michigan, lodge number 1509.
Talked a little bit about Blake in the opening. She's moving up from 10-11. She won the 10-11 division last year. Like her counterpart on the boys' side, Becca Jilka, she is looking to join a select group. Only eight hoop shooters in the entire history of the program have won back-to-back championships. 6 of them are already enshrined in the Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame. Now, one of the One of the things the selection committee looks for is, long runs in the national finals, multiple championships, right? The two that aren't in from that group of 8 are just too young, right?
Yep.
The last one to do it was Anthony Thompson in 2018. So we got Beckett and Blake both looking to join that select club. She hit 24 out of 25 at regionals. She's shooting 92% thus far.
Blake is also looking to go to Sarasota, Florida as her dream vacation.
All right. In our 5th position, we have Grace Wilhelm, represented by Palmer, Alaska, lodge number 1842.
And Grace hasn't been here before. Doesn't have those storied credentials of her 5 competitors in this field that we've mentioned, but she is coming off a 25 out of 25 at regionals.
And maybe she'll have her lucky charm, Ovaltine.
Also, Oh.
could you imagine, having your water bottle filled with Ovaltine?
No, but
Maybe she does.
Yeah.
Ovaltine rocks. I used to, that was my childhood. So, in our 6th position, we have Kaylee Bryant, represented by Harrison, Arkansas, lodge number 2311.
The other one who's survived a shoot-off to advance at the state level, 20 out of 25, and then 5 out of 5 in a shoot-off.
Kaylee's favorite book is anything Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. All right. In our 7th position, Kaylin Strader, represented by Reidsville, North Carolina, lodge number 1723.
She's another one of our returnees. Kaylin competed in 10-11 last year. She finished 4th after losing a 3-round shoot-off for 3rd, 11 out of 15. She's had a year to think about that and stew. Now she's back looking to do a little bit better.
Kaylin's unique talent is that she does her hair and nails for her friends and family.
Wow, very generous of her. In our 8th position, we have Amelin Switzer, represented by Woodward, Oklahoma, lodge number 1355.
Amelin was last here in 2023 when she tied for 9th. Had 2 years to think about that. Glad to be back, hoping to do better.
Amelin's nickname is Amano because no one pronounces her name correctly.
Yeah.
So I hope we got it right for you this time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good nickname.
And she's also another one who did not make it, year after being a national finalist, did not make it out of her school competition, right?
That's
Just goes to show you.
goes to show. And her dream vacation is skiing in Alaska. Maybe her and Grace Wilhelm can become friends and get a trip out to Alaska. You never know. All right, in our 9th position, we have Aubrey Roberts, represented by Littleton, New Hampshire, lodge number 1831.
Aubrey's father participated in the hoop shoot when he was a kid.
Aubrey's dream vacation is after my own heart. She wants to be on a deserted beach full of puppies.
That sounds a little scary, but I think that would be awesome as well.
The puppies would keep you safe.
Yeah, okay. I believe you. Moving on into our 10th position, we have Emily Crawford, represented by Rapid City, South Dakota, lodge number 1187.
Emily hit 23 out of 25 at regionals, 4 out of 5 in a shoot-off to advance. She was here in 2022, the anniversary year. She finished 4th, hit 4 out of 5 to lose the shoot-off for 3rd. She has another crack at going home with one of the big trophies.
Emily's lucky charm is a You Got This bracelet and a Hershey bar.
All right.
Does she eat it before the contest? Does she keep it in her pocket the whole time? Who knows?
I don't know. I don't think I would want that in my pocket, but who knows? In the 11th position, we have Stella Iliff, represented by Wadena, Minnesota, lodge number 2386.
Stella had a 24 out of 25 at the lodge level. That was her best round.
Her unique talent is that she's really good at bottle flipping.
Bottle flipping.
Wow. All right. And our favorite sports team is the Minnesota Lynx. Shout out to the WNBA. In our 12th position, our final finalist of the show in the 12 to 13 girls division, we have Raya Batt, represented by Paramus, New Jersey, lodge number 2001.
And her older brother competed in the hoop shoot. So another family connection.
Another one.
Yeah, and another Indiana Fever fan also.
Yeah.
And we ask that you hold your unique talent until the end. After everyone has made their shot, you can clap very loud.
I too feel like I can clap very loud. Maybe clap off is in order.
Maybe.
I think I can too. So
That's it. Those are the 12, 13-year-old girls.
Yeah.
We've
that's all of it.
gone through our full field of 72 national finalists. A lot of hot shooters there. We, of course, don't know what's going to happen on Saturday, but that's what makes Saturday so exciting, right? To watch these contests unfold. You know, we've talked that we've singled out a lot of kids today, but that's because we can only go on by what we know and what we've seen on paper. But it's very often that, you know, someone will surprise us.
It's anybody's game.
It is anybody's game. All these kids have won multiple levels of competition to get here. All it takes is somebody to get hot, get on a roll.
Yeah. And again, we do want to stress, all of these contests are live streamed. We will have broadcasters for each event. Send that link to your friends and family who cannot make it. Let them know that they can join the chat, and it's just a lot of fun. We're excited for Chicago here coming up in a few days.
And if you're watching from home and are not one of the people that are coming here, we're doing those live streams for you. I mean, that's why we're doing it, so that people who can't be with us in Chicago can still watch their favorite hoop shooters compete for these 6 titles.
Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're here today, and you'll be notified when we start our live streams.
That's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. We're ready for Chicago.
All right, everybody, we will see you on Saturday.
Best wishes.